Hey guys, welcome back. I just wanted to chat with you. I get this question quite often. It's not really anything deep or philosophical. I don't know if I'm gonna be wildly profound, but I wanted to just talk about it. But it always comes with a little head tilt and wide eyes from people, and they're like, Doc DG3, how do you do it all? And it always takes me aback, right? Because I don't think about me doing a whole lot, right? And I guess I get it, outside looking in between teaching, coaching, raising my girls, supporting my wife's business, being on the social medias. It might look like that I'm juggling 20 things at once. But the reality is, I'm not, quote unquote, doing it all. I just look at life and see things clearly. And I think that's what really makes the difference. Because, when life may seem or feel full, and I'm not talking just like busyness, but I'm talking about full of all of the things you have to do, I don't believe it's about squeezing in more. I think it's about how do you organize your life and your existence around energy, clarity, and the things that are the most important to you for you to prioritize. And for me, it all starts with something that I just kind of call my life list, right? That encompasses everything. And that life list eventually gets migrated to my calendar so that I can have a full 360 view on everything that's occurring. Now, you guys know I'm a pharmacist, a healthcare provider, and like any good pharmacist, we love our to-do list. I think all of us like to write things down and check a box or scratch stuff out. I know that we love to-do lists so much. I don't know if I'm the only one, but have you ever written a to-do list and you did something and you wrote it on the to-do list just so you can scratch it out so that your list looks a lot more complete? And so that was me, right? So to-do lists work until they didn't work. Because what I realized was my life wasn't just a series of tasks. Of course, it had things. It was meetings, it was swim meets, it was grading and grocery runs. But I also realized it was engaging with people and encouraging students and being present for my wife after a long day, hanging out with the girls, right? And my to-do list just didn't capture everything that I needed it to. It actually made me feel like I was failing because I was getting things done. It wasn't like I wasn't working and doing things, but because they weren't capturing everything and I wasn't able to see everything that life was asking of me. So I created the life list where it's not a fancy app. It's nothing revolutionary. I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just everything that I have going on in one place. I have to create the list of the tasks, the commitments, the events, and I never made them about one thing, right? Because oftentimes we will create a list and it's about what's my grocery list or what is my cleaning list or what are the things I have to do for the work. No. When I create these lists every week, they're everything that I have going on. They're the tasks, the commitments, the events, the circumstances, the conversations that I need to have with people and the things that I need to think about, the prayers that I want to have, and even some consideration to the emotional or mental weight that I might be carrying. Now, all of that eventually gets to my calendar so that I can have a fully 360 view of how are these events and things going to interact with each other or become adjacent. But it's all there. Because if it's on my mind or my heart, it deserves a spot for me to pay attention to. Now, like I said, I make that list and I transition to my calendar where everything's some space for it to live so that I can have its own attention. But truly, I then also filter it through 3 questions. Now, the 3 questions that I have gives me clarity on how do I move forward. But the 3 questions are this: where do I have to be? What do I have to do? And the last one is, who do I need to be? So let me dive deeper into those 3 questions and maybe give you some thoughts as to why I focus on those 3. So the first one is, where do I have to be? So I've made the list. I find the things that I have to do, and now they're made transition to my calendar for their appointments. And this is purely just about time and location. It helps me to orient not just my week, but my day. What are the meetings, the places, right? and where that meeting is, what's adjacent to it. Is it I have to go to a swim meet? Am I traveling? And this allows me to see sometimes that maybe I might have overcommitted. Having to be in two places at the same time. I can't commit to certain things if I have to travel for work, for example. Or I may have to take that meeting via Zoom because I have to transition because the adjacent meeting behind it is a swim meet that I have to be there for, right? So this lens really grounds me in reality. It tells me if I need to have more protected time. Do I need to cancel certain things? Do I need to block out certain commute or travel windows to be able to do things? I remember one time I had something on my schedule where I was able to take a meeting during a layover, for example, because I was traveling and I was able to take that meeting because it was a Zoom meeting. And guess what? This is not just work. This is also making sure that I have transition time to make it to swim practice or go to a kindergarten graduation. And what this allows me to do, truth be told, is it allows me to show up and not just physically be present, but be fully present where I am. It helps me to ground in, am I present wherever my feet are at the time? So that's number one. The second question is, what do I have to do? So this is the obvious one. This is the tasks. This is the deliverables. This is the emails, the calls, the follow-ups. But here's why I actually go deeper. I look at the what's in terms of, is it urgent but not important? Can these things be moved depending on how busy the day is or the complexity of what's going on? This also helps me to think about what can be delegated or dropped from my calendar. Right? And here's what I'm thinking about. It's like, it's not everything that I wrote down truly needs to happen. It's just something in the peripheral or the atmosphere about whether or not it needs to happen. And this lens helped me to fight the guilt of not finishing something, because it reminds me that the list isn't the boss. I am the boss, right? I get to control what I do and not do. And it helps me prioritize way differently when I recognize what are the things that I have to do, but then more importantly, how can I delegate them or move them or realize if they're my priority or someone else's? The third question that I filter this all through is, and I think this is my favorite question, truthfully. So we went through, where is it that I need to be? We went through, what are the things that I have to do? But I like this third one, which is, who do I need to be? And it's my favorite one because this is the one that I find no one really asks. I think about, who do I need to be in that meeting? Who do I need to be when I talk to my daughters or engage with my wife? When I'm with someone and I'm wanting to be encouraging or they want to connect with me, it allows me to focus on who is the person that needs to be present when I'm present. Is it a meeting that I'm in that I'm not expected to talk? So therefore, maybe I could be more reserved and more observational. Is it a scenario where I'm expected to present and I got to bring the energy and do my kachongs and my air squats and get the energy ready before I show up? Do I need to be bold, gentle, creative? Do I need to be clear-eyed and firm? And this question truly, to me, gets at the emotional component and posture that I want to hold. Because it's not sometimes just enough to show up. I want to show up in alignment. And this question has saved me more times than I can count. And I think about, there's moments where things just are heavy or there's busy, right? You got family pressures and responsibilities and stuff at work. And this is where showing up at meetings exhausted or resentful is not what's up, right? Because again, that could have much more lasting effects. Or how about this? Work is being completely stressful and I come home and I'm not fully present for my wife and my daughters and I snap at them. So it really allows me to think about and think through who needs to be present when I show up in these places, right? It makes me think about, who do I need to be today? Who do I need to be in this moment? And the answer wasn't always the guy who gets things done. Sometimes it was the guy who brings peace to the room. It was the one who brings a level head. And that changed how I carried myself, even if the list didn't shrink, right? Now, this system might sound small, but it's how I keep my peace. It's how I allow myself to get things done. And guess what? I don't get it all done all the time. But what I've learned is I'm ensuring by using my life list, looking at what needs to happen, and filtering it through my questions of where do I need to be, what do I need to do, and who do I need to be, it allows me to get the right things done because I believe I can see everything clearly. Now, this helps me because I get to show up with purpose. I get to catch myself before I burn out. I get to ask for help because sometimes, when I'm able to look at a lot that I have going on, it allows me to effectively communicate to those who are around me. Hey, honey, I got this going on. What do you have going on? Hey, I'm going to be real busy on this day. How can I show up for you? Or it allows me to reach out to that colleague to say, hey, I know I had that deadline. Is it a way that I could have an extension? Or maybe it allows me to look at it ahead of time. But you know what it also allows me to do? It allows me to have more grace with myself because when I fully recognize everything that I have going on, I won't feel guilty when I delay a deadline because I'm fully aware, right? Or excuse me, rather than say delay a deadline because deadlines are deadlines, right? We don't miss those. But I also recognize that, you know what, if I'm going to take some time for myself, because that's what I also do, I schedule time for myself and the things that I have going on. I don't feel guilty because I also know that I'm moving towards and I fully understand what's happening. Because what I've recognized is most of us freak out not as much about our schedule. We freak out about the unexpected things that hit our schedules. So if I have a full, clear view of everything that I have going on, it's a little easier for me to accommodate those unexpected life things that occur because I have a clear view of everything that I have going on. Now, most of us are juggling life kind of with this cracked mirror of existence. We only see what's urgent at times, right? And just like a cracked mirror, sometimes those urgent things are not what's really in front of us. But what I've learned is the life list paired with these 3 questions may help you give full reflection and you can finally stop living from fire to fire and start living from vision and foresight. Now, I get it. We don't always see it all. Even with the best intentions, we lose sight of what's really going on. And you may be wondering why. Well, it's easy. We're busy. We're stretched. Sometimes we just got too much things going on, right? We're moving fast. We're juggling roles that we stop paying attention to what we're actually carrying. Sometimes the busyness feels like normality. I don't know about any of you. Sometimes when your schedule opens up, you feel kind of anxious, like you're going to miss something. But when we're busy like that, sometimes we avoid seeing it all because naming it and looking at it and addressing it and seeing it makes it feel real. And if it feels real, then we might have to feel the pressure to actually fix it. But I'm going to tell you, this isn't about fixing anything. This is about facing it. It's about giving yourself the grace to say, you know what? This is a lot. I got a lot going on, but I still want to show up well as the best version of myself. We can't manage what we won't look at. And we can't lead ourselves well if we're just reacting, survival mode. So to me, how do I get it done? The life lists and the 3 filter questions that I go through. And guess what? They're just not productivity hacks. This could be a way for you to come back to yourself. So if you're listening to this and you feel like your life is blurred with a whole bunch of tasks and pressure, try it. How about this? Try this. This weekend, make your own list. Make your own life list. Not just the to-dos, but all of it. What's on your plate, your calendar, your mind, your heart. Filter through the 3 questions. Where do I need to be? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be? And I think you'll be surprised at how much clarity and vision shows up. You'll stop asking, can I get it all done? But then you'll shift your questions as, what deserves my best to get done right now? Doing it all, that's never the goal. To me, the goal is seeing it all. And that's how you reclaim your time, your peace, and your presence. So, probably spent way too much time talking about this, and I apologize for that. But really, it had me thinking about you guys. And I just always want you to know, as always, I love you much.